Hello, and welcome to the School of Economics at the University of East Anglia. My name is Peter Moffat. I'm Professor of Econometrics in the School of Economics, and I'm also Postgraduate Admissions Director in the School of Economics. And for the next 15 or 20 minutes, I'm going to be talking about MSc degrees in economics. The contents of this presentation are, I'm going to start with a school overview. Then I'm going to talk about the MSc courses. Then I'm going to talk about the modules within those courses. Then I'm going to say a bit about delivery method. Then I'm going to say a bit about what you will learn on the MScs. Then I'm going to talk about careers, and I'm going to give you some examples of students who've done the MSc in past years and who've now gone on to do great things. And then I'll finish off with further information. The school overview. The School of Economics was founded in 1966. Well, that was the year that the University of East Anglia started. So what I'm telling you here is that economics has always been an important part of UEA. There are currently 47 faculty members, and there are currently 140 postgraduate taught students. There are 140 MSc students in the School of Economics. And those MSc students are divided between 10 different MSc courses. And those are the courses that I'm going to be talking about. Here on the right-hand side, we have reasons why you should be looking at the School of Economics at UEA. Internationally renowned research in a wide range of areas, unparalleled support for students, proven enhancement of employment prospects. And with regard to employment prospects, what we're talking about is having done an MSc in economics, you're more likely to secure employment in which you're using the skills that you've learned. And with an MSc, your earnings prospects are improved as well. What are the MScs? The MSc degrees are divided into two different programs. The first program is the academic and professional program. This program is aimed at students who already have a BSc in economics. So if you've already got a degree in economics, have a look at these degrees. MSc in economics, MSc behavioral experimental economics, MSc competition economics and policy, MSc finance and economics. The other program is the Applied Training Program, and this program is aimed at students who have a BSc in a subject other than economics. MSc in Economics and International Relations, MSc in Economics of International Finance and Trade, Economics of Money, Banking and Capital Markets, Global Media Economics, International Business Economics, International Business Finance and Economics, Quantitative Financial Economics, and then here we have the graduate diploma in economics. The graduate diploma is not an MSc. Graduate diploma is what we call a conversion course. It's a course that you do if you have a degree in something other than economics and you want to do a PhD in economics. You do a graduate diploma in economics, and then you follow that with one of the academic and professional MScs, and then you can do a PhD. If you do one of these MScs, if you do very well, then you could be admitted onto a PhD. But the intention of these MScs is for a vocational training in economics. Think about doing one of these degrees if you're interested in economics, you want to learn some economics, and also you're interested in the specialism. So for example, if you're interested in media economics, think about doing this one. Course delivery. There are around 10 weekly contact hours. That's 10 hours per week. You'll be in lectures or seminars or lab sessions. Now, in the lab sessions, you're going to learn this very useful and popular econometrics package, STATA. Teaching is by a combination of teaching is by a combination of classroom and online teaching. All students have an academic advisor. An academic advisor is someone you go to or someone you contact when you have academic issues to solve, and that person will assist you with those issues. Assessment is by a combination of coursework, examination, and dissertation. Coursework takes the form of take-home assignments and computer tests. These are pieces of work that happen during the module. The examination is something that happens after the end of the module. So when the teaching of the module is complete, you may have a 2-hour examination on the contents of that module. The dissertation is something that happens right at the end of the year in which you're doing the MSc. So when you've finished all your taught modules and finished all your exams, you settle down to work on your dissertation. Now, I personally have always thought the dissertation is the best part of an MSc, mainly because you are working on a topic which you have chosen yourself. So of all the topics you've covered in the MSc, you choose the one that you are most interested in, and that's what you work on for the dissertation. And you're working on the dissertation for around 2 months, and you're working on your own. It's independent research, and it's work on your own, except that you have guidance from a supervisor who is a member of faculty. So as I say, the dissertation is something to look forward to greatly. What are the modules that are taught in the MScs? Well, if you do one of the academic and professional MScs, then you will do these core modules. Economic Theory 1, which is microeconomics, Economic Theory 2, which is macroeconomics, econometric theory, applied econometrics, and everyone does a dissertation. Well, there are 4 modules here. These are the 4 core modules. In an MSc, you will do 6 modules over the year. You'll do 3 in the first semester and 3 in the second semester. So where do the other 2 modules come from? Well, the other 2 modules depend on which MSc you're doing. This is the list. So depending on which MSc you're doing, you will be doing 2 from this list. And for the MSc in economics, there is optionality. If you do the MSc in economics, then you're allowed to choose which of these modules you do. Industrial organization and competition economics, behavioral and experimental economics, environmental economics, finance, financial markets, international finance, financial mathematics, microeconomics of development. Right, moving on to the applied training program. Remember, this is the program that's aimed at students who have not studied economics for their first degree. The core modules for the applied training program are economic concepts, econometric methods, and dissertation. And there are only 2 taught modules here. The other 4 modules that you do depend on which MSc you've chosen and which options you choose. So here are the optional modules. Environmental, we see again, international relations theory, money and banking, economics of the mass media, finance, financial markets, international finance, financial mathematics, multinational firms, risk management and trading, international trade. The next thing I'm going to talk to you about is what will you learn? Well, I'm not going to tell you what you're going to learn in all the MScs because that would take longer than we have. But I just want to talk about one thing that is very topical at the moment. Now, in econometrics modules, you're going to learn how to analyze time series data. What you see here in this graph is time series data. It's also financial data. If you do any of the finance modules, that is modules with finance in the name, you will learn about how to analyze financial data. This is a good example of financial data. It's daily data, daily time series data on the FTSE 100 index. Well, the FTSE 100 index you will have heard of before. It's a popular measure of essentially how well the London Stock Exchange is doing. So if the FTSE 100 index is moving down, that's bad news for the stock exchange. If it's moving up, that's good news. This is the last 2 years of data, so it's 2018 to 2020 to now. Now, the striking feature of this graph is obviously the steep fall in the FTSE 100 that happened earlier in 2020. Now, I think we all know what the reason for this steep fall is. It was the onset of the coronavirus crisis, or the COVID-19 crisis. That happened then, and as soon as that happened, there was a steep decline in the FTSE 100. And this is the sort of thing we're interested in as economists. We're interested in the impact of the crisis on many things, including financial markets. So by looking at this graph, we can see roughly what the impact is on financial markets. Now, when we analyze financial data, we don't actually use the index itself. We usually use the return on the index. The return is the daily change in the index. That's what we've graphed here. This graph is the same information as the last graph, but presented in a different way. What you see here is simply the daily change. For each day, the FTSE changes by this amount. So 0.02 here means a 2% increase, minus 0.02 means a 2% decrease. Now, the striking feature of this graph is that the volatility, that is the distance away from zero of the returns, seems to be fairly stable. See, volatility, stable for 2 years. And then when the crisis starts, volatility increases and it stays high, and it may stay high for the rest of this year, we don't know. This is what we're most interested in as financial economists, the volatility. How do we forecast the volatility? How do we know what we expect the volatility to be for the next 6 months? Well, we use a model. We use a variety of modeling techniques in econometrics. One very useful model is the Garch model. The Garch model, which is very useful and very popular in the financial industry. So if you learn the Garch model, you're preparing yourself well for employment in the financial industry. The Garch model is used to model and to predict volatility. An obvious question is, do we see the same pattern in other stock markets? Well, this is the UK stock market. If we look at the US stock market, the US stock market index, most popular one is the Dow Jones index. So with the Dow Jones index for the USA, we see fairly stable volatility for 2 years. And then when the crisis starts, a big increase in volatility. If anything, this increase in volatility is higher than what we saw for the UK. What about China? The Shanghai index is the Chinese stock market index. And here we see a different pattern because we see essentially volatility is stable for the whole period. For the coronavirus period, volatility has not increased. Now, this is interesting. The crisis is a global crisis. It's a crisis that we know has affected every country in the world. Well, why is the crisis only affecting some stock markets and not others? This is an interesting question. It's an important question, and it's the sort of question that we teach you how to answer in the finance modules. And it's the sort of question that you could answer in your dissertation. If you're interested in this topic, then you could collect data, as I have done, from DataStream. You could analyze the data in the way that I've started to do using Stata, and you could use the econometric techniques that we teach you in order to test the hypotheses or test the theories that you've learned in the finance modules. Careers. After you've done an economics MSc, you could do a wide variety of things. And here are some recent destinations. So these are the places where our recent graduates have gone. Now, the ones you see on this page are the ones at the top of the list are economics consultancies. So if you do the academic and professional MSc, then you're well qualified for employment in an economics consultancy. So these AlixPartners, NERA, KPMG, and PwC are economics consultancies. If you work for an economics consultancy, you are directly using the skills you have learned as an economist. These organizations here, Competition Markets Authority, Ofgem, Ofwat, Ofcom, these are government regulators. Ofgem is the government regulator for gas and electricity. Ofwat is the regulator for water. Ofcom is the regulator for telecommunications. If you've got the MSc in competition economics and policy, then you're well qualified to apply for employment in one of these government regulators. And a lot of our students have done that. The last thing on this list is PhD followed by academia. If you've enjoyed the MSc a lot and you want to carry on studying and you like independent research in economics, then do a PhD, and a natural destination following a PhD is a career in academia. If you do the applied training MSc, then again, you're going to be using your skills, but it's likely that you'll be using the skills in a more general context. For example, you may be employed in government, financial institutions, business, commerce, international agencies such as the IMF or the World Bank. Now, I want to give you some specific examples. These are people who've done the MSc in recent years and who've gone on to do impressive things. Darren Rice did the MSc in Competition Economics and Policy in 2011. He is now head of policy and regulatory strategy at Anglian Water, and this is him here. And Anglian Water is the water company that covers the East Anglian region. So it's our water company. It's the company that supplies us with water. So we're very proud of Darren's achievements at Anglian Water. The second example is Richard Lim. He did the MSc in Behavioral and Experimental Economics in 2006. He is now Chief Executive of Retail Economics in London. Retail Economics is a company that specializes in behavioral economics and uses behavioral economics to inform marketing decisions and to advise companies on matters relating to product launches and things like that. Yiding Wan did the MSc in Finance and Economics in 2008, and then he carried on at UEA and did a PhD in econometrics, and he received that in 2012. Since then, he's worked with a finance company in Hong Kong, and he is now head of fixed income. Fixed income is essentially buying and selling bonds. Xu Na did the MSc in Global Media Economics 2006, and she is now head of public relations at Rolls-Royce in Beijing. And that's her there. The next example is someone that you are likely to know if you come from a certain part of the world. This is Zhang Shuying. She did the MSc in Global Media Economics in 2012, and she is now a very popular and well-known TV actress in China. Now, she visited us at UEA in 2017. And when she visited us, she told us how much she enjoyed her year at UEA doing the MSc in Global Media Economics. She also told us that the skills she learned in the MSc are proving to be useful in her career. And I think this just goes to show that an MSc in economics gives rise to a very wide variety of opportunities. Why choose us? Why choose the School of Economics at UEA? We are supported by internationally renowned research in a wide range of areas. UEA MScs enhance the key skills that make economics degrees so sought after by employers. Teaching. Many of our lecturers and teachers are world experts, but their focus is on your studies and your personal professional development. Our programs are designed for you to gain maximum benefit from formal and informal learning opportunities. You'll benefit from our long-established links with international organizations and research councils around the world. Why UEA? Join a lively, questioning environment where world-renowned research flourishes and flows into your studies. Be curious, collaborate, contribute, and be prepared to make a difference in the world. With us behind you, there's nowhere you can't go. And finally, this is where you look for further information. This website is the School of Economics website. So look here if you want to see a course profile. If you're interested in one of the MScs that I've been talking about, have a look at the course profile. You'll see exactly what the course looks like in terms of the modules that you take and when you take them. You can also chat with current students and academics if you look at these links. If you want more information on fees, funding, and scholarships, here's the link. And of course, if you've got a question for us, email us at any time. Use this email. You're sending an email to the admissions team. They're the best people to send your question to. They will answer your question. If they can't answer your question, they will forward your question to someone who can answer it. Well, thank you very much for listening to this presentation. We are looking forward to receiving your application if we haven't received it already. And we're looking forward to meeting you when you join us to embark on your MSc. Thank you again, and goodbye.